Okay. Okay, wait, should we start?
Oh, I've been rolling this whole time, so
I
yes.
know you've been rolling. Okay.
Hi, I'm Dan. I'm a father
No!
of,
Stop.
and then you can be like,
Hi,
and
I'm
I'm
Eleanor.
Eleanor.
And I'm
I'm a
Eleanor.
teen.
I'm a teen, and I like books.
Not true.
No. Hello, everybody, and welcome to I Think We've Heard Enough, episode 2. We are very excited to put out the second addition to our podcast slash video show. I'm Eleanor, and I do this podcast with my father, Dan. Say hi, Dan.
Hi, Dan.
I don't call him Dan, I call him Dad.
That's
So,
right. It's kind of weird. I don't like you using my first name. Seems
me neither.
far too informal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I hope everybody enjoyed our first episode. We're very excited to bring you our second episode. We've been getting like so much feedback. Am I right? So much positive feedback, a little negative feedback. I was hearing some negative feedback that I talk too much and that I interrupt you and I talk over you, and all of that negative feedback was coming from,
My mom.
yeah,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
So,
Rough
we've
crowd.
decided, being on the internet, you have to kind of learn to just ignore the hate comments and just look at the bigger picture and understand that, it shouldn't affect you. But God,
Yeah, but
Mom.
most people don't like share a bed with the hate comments, but that like that's fine.
Moving on. Okay.
How
So,
to how to get Gen Z to clam up real fast.
well, now you know, everybody. So, I thought I would kind of take the lead on this episode. So, I've planned a couple things out. Nothing is scripted, as you, it's probably very obvious. But I just wanted to do a couple like fun little segments, I guess is something you can call them. So, the first thing, we're just jumping right into it, I guess. The first thing I wanted to talk about is weird holidays. And by holidays, I don't mean like on your calendar, national, holidays. I mean the strange ones of the internet. And we are recording this early, but I did kind of do some research and look for some fun days for the week that this comes out. So the first day being Friday the 19th of March. So,
Oh,
Dad.
feast of that's well. I mean, everybody knows Feast of Saint Joseph. I mean,
Mhm.
so is there anything more we need
Well,
than
I
that?
think the greatest holiday is, that that's when our podcast comes out. So everybody should
Oh,
know that our podcast comes out on Fridays. But
that's right.
according to the internet, the 1% of it that doesn't know who we are is National Poultry Day. So
Oh, I
everybody go
love
get your chicken.
poultries. Wait,
Okay.
it's not a poultry? I thought those were the things that held the wires up that
Is that what
where the
that's not what they're
where the
called.
internet goes. Oh,
That's not okay. God, you're such a
oh.
Gen X. No, it's National Poultry Day, so everybody go get your chicken unless you are a
Oh,
vegetarian. Then you can make that weird flour chicken on
uh,
TikTok.
oh, is that a thing? You have to tell me about that because, of course, I'm not on TikTok. So,
Right.
is this
Well,
like you just lump a bunch of flour together and then you sprinkle it with chicken seasoning or something?
yes,
Oh,
strangely. And I don't understand how this works because people are saying, "Oh my gosh, all the vegetarians, you have to try this. It tastes like chicken." And basically you make this dough and then you wash it and
hmm.
then you put like seasoning on it and you like sear it in a pan. I don't think people understand there's no nutritional value. It's not going to make it like, yeah, sure, it doesn't have chicken in it, but it's literally just carbs, which is
Yeah,
fine, but I mean,
right. I mean, you salt and pepper and oil something enough, it's of course going to taste like chicken because that's, chicken is sort of, and I mean, no offense to my poultry loving poultry raising friends, but chicken is basically a blank slate, right? It's supposed to
Hmm.
be as bland a meat as possible so that it is therefore malleable and you can do all kinds of things with it, right?
Right. But my thing is like I don't understand how you could say this amazing vegetarian chicken, it's not like super processed um beyond meat. I mean,
Mhm.
you wouldn't put like seasoning on a sponge and call it chicken. I mean, so like I don't understand. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
moving on.
Yeah. Well, let's just say that we will celebrate by either having or not having chicken that day.
Right.
That's
So,
we either uphold our chicken fondness or we will abstain in honor of the slain poultry that
mhm.
graces the plates of America at a day in and day out. Okay, so what
All
else
right.
is coming up?
So, the next day, Saturday the 20th is National Extraterrestrial extra ET Abductions Day. I had a hard time saying that.
Ooh.
So that's it's probably
So
the
I
most
mean, but
exciting.
like, so it should okay. So I mean, in all seriousness, though, I mean, there are a couple things. It's also, I think, the first day of spring, so that's exciting. But I don't think anybody really talks about how often aliens are abducted,
Yeah.
right?
I
I
think
mean, we saw ET. They straight up stole cute little adorable ET and stuffed them in their closet and fed them like
Reese's Pieces.
enough Reese's pieces so that he was probably in some sort of a coma of sugar, which I'm surprised it frankly didn't kill him, because how could his system process all that?
Right? I
But
mean,
and
he's from
and
the
then
Star Wars world apparently, so
oh, that's all lies. Nothing
okay,
nothing outside of the original three movies is canon, and we just need to accept that and move on. Okay.
right.
So so we have extraterrestrial abduction. So
Yes.
like I hope they call it ET Abduction Awareness Day. Like, right? Like we
Mhm.
should be aware of all the aliens that humans abduct on a regular basis, and right, let's just
Yeah,
free them, free
it's a
the ETs.
very it's a seriously, it's a very serious issue I think that we don't talk about enough and
Right.
yeah. Um the next day, Sunday the 21st, which I actually believe is the real first day of spring, is National Fragrance Day.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm. Well, that's
no comment.
sounds sweet to me. No, no
Nope, no
comment.
pun intended.
No, it's the birthday of Johann Sebastian Bach as well, and so yeah, there's a lot to celebrate. Um, I mean, when was the last time you opened up a piece of Bach's music and gave it a good whiff? I bet it smells pretty good. I bet it's got a fragrance.
It smells really good. It smells nice and like crisp and very
Yeah,
pleasing.
very
Um
German. I mean, sort of like straightforward, a little bit of a hint of like pork product because it's in a lot of German cuisine, and
mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes, Monday the 22nd is National Goof Off Day. And
Mhm.
I actually had to like look at a second source to make sure I was reading this right. So basically, it's a day where you can just sit back and I guess have fun and relax. But
Yeah, yeah,
I
that's
pretty
every day,
much, yeah, every day that I'm not in
every day.
school.
That's why I'm a teacher, is so that I can have plenty of those extra days to goof off and not do anything.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah. Tuesday the 23rd is National Chip and Dip Day, which I
Hmm.
would say is pretty self-explanatory. Go to your grocery store and get some chips and dip.
Okay. That's I
That's
don't have anything
yeah.
to say about Chip and Dip Day. Yep.
Chip
I
and dip, it's
mean,
great. I don't have anything to like argue about it. The
I
next day,
recently I recently gave up chips, and so I'm sort of like I'm kind of in denial about Chip and Dip Day coming up. Frankly, it's going to be
mm,
a tough one. It's going to be a
yeah,
hard one for me. So
yeah. Um,
thanks.
I wish you luck.
Triggering,
Um,
by the way, triggering.
okay,
Okay.
right. The next day is Wednesday, and it is National Chocolate Covered Raisin Day.
Ooh,
So I thought of
yes,
my
brought to you
brother.
by Raisinets.
Yeah,
It's
everybody's
like,
favorite candy.
yes,
Um,
everybody's favorite candy that you look at in the like like when you go to a movie. That's like the only time I don't think I've ever seen, thought of, or heard about Raisinets outside of the cinematic like
right.
experience.
But I
And you're
mean,
just like, look at, there's Raisinets, or I could get, Sour
or I
Patch
could get
Kids
Sour Patch Kids. But,
or M&Ms.
I would love to meet in my lifetime a child who goes trick-or-treating and says, "Ooh, Raisinets!" And I don't have anything against raisins or chocolate. I've had Raisinets. They're fine. But
Yeah, it's
this
like, oh, this is a raisin that somebody dipped in some chocolate. I mean,
I think, to be honest, I think it was a mistake made at a factory, maybe like
yeah,
at like a Hershey's factory, someone dropped their
yeah,
snack into the chocolate, and
right.
yeah,
Well,
but
I mean, it could be worse. I mean, it could be like, rat feces dipped in chocolate. So,
oh, that's a couple decades earlier,
yeah.
um but this this holiday reminded me of my lovely little brother, because he's the only 11-year-old I know that will seriously walk around the house with a handful of raisins and really
Yeah.
enjoy it,
That's
because
how desperate our snacking situation is in this house, frankly, right? It's that like
raisins
he's like, oh, he's got that craving. I just need something. And
just needs some
literally the only
raisins.
thing we have is raisins. It's like, and
But we
it's
keep
in
buying them. That like we
because they keep getting eaten.
well, it's, if you ever come to our house and there's one thing you can depend on,
Yeah.
it's cat food and raisins.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily combined or at the same
No, I
time.
wouldn't recommend
Yeah,
that.
we
Trust
have
me.
and I feel bad in a way for your friends and your brother's friends. Not that we have people coming over now, of course, but when at the end times or whatever we're gonna call it, like when we go back,
Oh, okay.
like you never have we never have fun stuff to feed people's friends. It's like, oh, do you guys have anything to eat? And we're like, well, we're gonna have dinner in like 45 minutes. Oh, really? What? I think my mom was thinking about maybe doing some chickpeas or it's like,
Well,
you
no,
guys
but
have
this
any
is
chips?
not.
They're like, my dad ate them all.
We have pita chips
Yeah,
or
that's those are
blue
solid. That's
corn
a
chips.
solid snack food.
Blue
Yeah,
corn chips are good. But by the way, nothing against my mom and her cooking. I love my mom's cooking. She's an
of course. Oh,
excellent chef. But and I
delicious.
think I've been lucky enough to grow up in an environment where I can appreciate the more, I guess, healthy and, I don't know, this, I guess, the foods that maybe kids wouldn't normally be eating
Yeah, I mean, we tried pretty
every
early
day.
on with you guys to like say, no, you're going to eat real food. We're not making you,
Yeah, eat real
spaghettios.
food.
And yeah,
But going back to my lovely brother, if the good thing is, if he's ever lost, it'll be you'll no worries, because he always leaves a trail of raisins. I found a raisin in my bed.
yeah, yeah.
I
Yes,
I haven't eaten raisins
I
by
found a
themselves
raisin in
in
our
years.
bed. Yeah, yeah,
Well,
exactly.
I mean, that's more
I found one on my
normal.
neck the other day. I was like, where'd that
I
come
found them
from?
in my hairbrush, but yeah. But I guess the last day is National
Raisins.
Waffle.
Well, oh, come on. I got one more thing. Raisins are
Oh,
those things. Like, have you ever spotted a raisin on the floor and your first instinct is like, oh, oh my God, what is that?
oh
Oh, is that
no.
what I like? Oh no, that better not be. And then you pick it and you're like, oh, it's a raisin. Thank
Oh
goodness,
no.
right?
No, because it's
It's
always a
not poop.
raisin.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
because it's always a raisin. I'm just
All
used
right.
to like literally anywhere in the house you can find a raisin.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean we like it's clean. It's just he has
Yeah.
raisins literally
Yeah.
every night. So, um
No, he eats a lot of raisins. I'm sure he's like regular as a whistle. Like,
I mean, he must be super like, I can't even say it. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say it on the internet.
no,
He
you're
must be
probably
like
not, and we should move on.
okay. The next day is National Waffle Day.
Yeah.
It's not a Sunday, which bothers me for some reason,
Yeah.
because in our house, we grew up having waffles on Sundays,
Hmm.
and nobody has
No, we
time to
have
make them on
waffles like
Thursdays.
5 times a week. Are you kidding
We
me?
don't. Are
Only
you
on
kidding?
Sundays? You guys are always making waffles.
We
And
make
that's a
waffles on
form of torture.
Sundays.
You make them on Saturday as well. Like I teach on Saturdays, one of the things I do, and I start early. I start at 8:30 in the morning, and like literally on the other side of this wall is my family having a delicious waffle breakfast,
Okay,
and I'm
but
teaching.
the thing is, it's very difficult for you or anybody else in our family, but I
Mhm.
think it'd be pretty easy to avoid them if you were anybody else because we make buckwheat waffles, which
Oh,
I
no, people would
love.
not like our waffles. Yeah,
I had
no,
a
for
friend
sure.
over and we were excited. She was excited
And she's like,
and she's like, "Oh, we get to make waffles." And she says,
they're
"Mm."
really like healthy seeming.
I love them. Those are the
I know.
waffles that
I've
I
buckwheat
had.
waffles are amazing. They're the
They're
best. Like,
delicious.
and everybody
And
else can go. All the haters can go have their buttermilk, whatever. Go to IHOP and get their disgusting things. We'll have our buckwheat waffles because, like, if you're gonna just basically bake or fry or whatever, I don't know what does a waffle even do? Is
what
it
is a
heat?
waffle?
What is that alchemy that goes into creating a waffle? But if you're going to make some sort of it's basically a
It's a breakfast
syrup.
panini.
It's a syrup
It's a
delivery
breakfast
system.
panini.
No, it's a syrup delivery system. It's
It
like
is.
it's got buckets in it for the syrup. You just pour, and it's little buckets of syrup, and like that's what it is. So if you're gonna just make that as your as a repast, one of your
The point
three
is,
meals, it might as well
yeah.
have at least some value. It's got to have some
But
fiber in
also
it.
I think the point of buckwheat waffles is so the buckets are like the maple syrup is that much better because it kind of like
It's like,
balances
yeah.
off the
Well, I
healthy.
mean, so why not just put maple syrup on some cardboard? I mean, like, then it's like, wow, this maple syrup is amazing. I can't get the cardboard out of my teeth, but the syrup is fantastic.
Best part about buckwheat waffles is there's a really good chance you can't swallow it. So it's like
Oh,
the one of
right.
the only foods that you'll be eating it and then you'll be like and you need water and you just
Yeah,
it won't
it's
go
somehow
down.
like you can chew it, and then it somehow like some reconstitutes into its like,
Solidifies.
yeah, into its shape as it goes down your gullet. And there are times when like literally you'd be like, um
Oh my god,
I just
someone
took
call an
30
ambulance.
seconds. I just 30 seconds to swallow that bite of waffle. But we're joking about it a lot. But in fact, like, but
But they're
it's delicious. It's
delicious.
so
They're
good.
delicious. And
It's great
I think people should normalize buckwheat waffles. I
for
think
sure.
we've heard enough. I would like to move on to just something I came up with, which is something strange that happened to you today, because I definitely have one.
Okay.
Okay, so
Something strange. All right.
something
Yeah.
strange, just out of the ordinary, or just, you notice something, you're like, that's not normal.
Okay.
So, I had this great day where I got to actually go into the city with my mom, and we had a lot of fun. Obviously, COVID safe and
Mm-hmm.
every precaution taken. But
Mm-hmm.
one person decided to take the mask wearing and the precautions to another level. And Dad, I haven't even I haven't even
Oh my
told you about
gosh, I
this.
haven't heard about this
So
yet.
we
Okay.
entered this mall place
Mm-hmm.
in the city, and the second we get in there, this guy, he's like talking to the security guard. I kid you not, a full-on gas mask. But not only that, like a plastic bag attached to the end of the gas mask
Oh
and
wow,
like
that's yeah,
goggles. It was very,
yeah.
and mom and I just looked at each other, and the thing is he had to like squeeze the nozzle so we could talk to the person, and he was like it was that's
That
something
is,
strange that I saw today.
yeah, that's pretty funny. And you never know, like, and that's one of the
They could
joys
be
of
watching this podcast and we'll never know.
it could be, but it's one of the joys of New York City, and particularly like around Halloween, because around Halloween, like a lot of everyday ordinary New Yorkers will start to dress up, right, and put on costumes. But you also sometimes just have New Yorkers, like that's their jam. Like that's what they do. They just wear some sort of
They wear whatever
thing
they
that you
want.
don't know if it's a costume or not. So a game that I like to play, especially like at a place like, let's say, Penn Station, where
We're
I spend
awful
I spend an
people.
unfortunate amount of time, is like to play a game with myself called Costume Not a Costume. Like, is this person wearing a costume, or it's like, are they celebrating Halloween, or do they just normally wear an entirely like creamsicle colored outfit, with a chapeau, and like could just be that's how they navigate their journey through life, right?
Hmm. And I guess it's kind of I thought of like a segue into a different phenomenon, which the internet calls subtle ugly.
Oh, yeah,
So this is
I
a
have heard
game
about
that my
this.
mom has, been, no, I wouldn't say playing, but something that she's been doing for the
She hasn't
years.
even known it was a thing. It's just
Oh
like your
no, it's
mother's
this is
own
just
kind
my
of
mom's personality, but
kookiness. Yeah.
we do it. So what you do is you go up to tourists, or not up to, but you kind of walk behind them as they're taking like a selfie of them with naked cowboy, or like
Elmo.
just Elmo, or
Yeah.
even just taking a selfie by the New Year's like ball.
Yeah.
And you walk by normally, and like the second you pass them, you kind of make a face, but it's subtle. So it's like this subtle like
Yeah.
face that you hope they see when
so
they're going
so
through their family photos.
yeah, yeah,
So
you try to like,
you
and
try to like you
the
try
thing
to like get
about
in the
this the thing about this is like how how like extroverted your mother is in this respect, and
oh,
we should
she's
talk
such
about
an
it.
introvert.
I
It's so
know she
she's
doesn't,
such
she's so private, does
she
not, but like
hates social. She's
this
like,
one thing she relishes, because, and I think it's
oh,
just like you
so
get
much joy
so,
she gets out of it.
yeah.
And I think
You
the glory of it is you never have to interact with that person
right,
again.
yeah, you're just going to be in their precious memories forever
I
as
You know,
this
you
weird
really
New
hope that
Yorker.
you're gonna end up in their like wedding slideshow,
Yeah.
and someone's gonna be on Ellen, and then your picture pops up and it's
Yeah.
you subtly making a face. And I just think this is one of, like, I guess, gist
Yeah.
of what we're saying is that living in New York has its blessings when it comes to
That's true. It's sort of like
scarring people.
untold. It's yeah, it has its hidden
I mean,
gems.
but I think the fun things are like, the things you wouldn't expect or even know, like messing with people,
Yeah.
but in not invasive ways.
In
I
benign
don't know,
ways, yeah,
in
you don't
benign
want to,
ways.
in benign ways, like without them really knowing. And it's basically just sort of a way for you to, well, I mean, it's weird because you might think, well, it's a way to kind of maintain your sanity, in a very crowded, dense place where you're around other people all the time. And especially when you have to go to a place like Times Square where you're around tourists, and it's a way to kind of maintain the sanity of like that you've got to navigate and weave your way through the sidewalks and dodge people, and you're trying to get to work, and like this is just like a way to like entertain yourself, or you could just now be one of the crazy people, like you know what I mean,
Yes.
like now you're just one of them.
But I think for me, it's kind of to entertain myself, but also to kind of like, I'm the person that if I'm in the city and I'm walking, I'm always like always watching where I'm stepping, because you never want to step in something. But also, I'm a
Oh
person
yeah.
that I try to avoid people, even pre-COVID times. I don't want interaction,
Yeah.
and but I think it's really ironic and funny when I get so much joy out of like making a weird face in some tourists' pictures. It's
Yeah.
just, I don't know. It's something that,
It's a perverse amount of fun, that's for sure.
yeah,
All right, so now you were telling something strange that happened to you today with
yes.
the gas mask, hazmat person.
Oh, it was
And
crazy.
yeah, and you were like, what, did something weird happen to you? And no. is the answer.
Well, see, I was
Nothing.
hoping you
I
were
had
going
the
to say
most
that because
ordinary,
you were
boring day.
teaching the whole day, and I don't
I
want
was
you to
teaching.
start like talking about
Yeah.
weird things your students do.
No, and I wouldn't ever, say, something, but like, at one
This
point
is
I
not
was sort
gonna
of
go.
like, at one point I was sort of fairly convinced that, one of my students was just on the other side on their computer, playing video games. But,
Oh, yeah.
right, because I'm sure that's probably fairly routine. Well, hey, that was fun. But a really weird episode.
Yeah, I'm
We'll
sorry.
see how much of it makes it into the final version.
Uh-huh.
Okay, kiddo.
I love how the episode I decide to lead is like the worst, most boring. Like,
There was some good. Raisinets was a good bit.
this was a good bit.
Your brother's raisins and subtle ugly. We'll keep that. We'll also. I'll put on the same sweater, and we'll re-record some stuff another night.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Well, we hope you enjoyed, and
That's right. And you can catch us on YouTube at I Think We've Heard Enough. That's the name of our channel, and that's where we post everything. And
we post little teasers of our episodes. So
that's
if
right.
you want to see what our next episode is going to look like without having to wait a whole week, you can tune in to our little trailers and you can see sneak peeks. Subscribe to the channel and like the videos. And we hope you enjoyed this. And if you didn't, I understand.
Okay.
But
yeah, we totally get it.
we totally get it. Don't worry.
Yes.
It's like,
it's fine.
I can hear them unsubscribing.
Yeah, but you don't have to be angry about it, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
just quietly leave.
Just don't dislike it. Don't take the time out of your day to dislike it. Just kind of
just go,
just be.
Okay, I have other things I want to do with my life. All right.
But in all seriousness, we hope you enjoyed, and we will see you on the next episode of I Think We've Heard Enough.
Bye.
Bye. This amazing city. But if you're a New Yorker, it's still fun. But
I think your brother's getting raisins right now. I think a legit
serious?
getting yes. Are you getting raisins? Can't hear me. I could hear him though.